How you going, guys? Raw Cow here. So, I want to kind of put something forward to you guys. On the weekend, there was a bit of a sad moment where a friend of mine, a young guy who's been through a lot in his life, was considering suicide. Lucky he didn't, and that's something I want everyone to know. This story, why it starts a little bit sad, ends hopefully on a good note. So this friend of mine was going through a pretty dark time. He had someone he really cared about tell him all these negative things about himself, and he latched onto them. Rather than sitting there and taking someone's criticism and going, hey, that's bullshit, I'm a way nicer guy than you think, or I've done much better things than you kind of are putting in my mind, he immediately believed, yeah, this person's right, I'm shit. Which is a horrible thing to consider. We're so quick to accept other people's negative opinions of us, yet we struggle acknowledging when we do something positive and we do something great. So this young man was at a party, and someone he really cared about, like I said, explained to him and called him a few names, choice words, and mentioned a few failings he's had in his life. And instead of him considering this and going, whatever, I'm way better than that, he thought, you're right, I'm shit. I'm a horrible person. I've failed at all these things. What am I doing with my life? It's not worth living. And that's disgusting. It's disgusting that this young man, I'm so glad he didn't go through with it. I would rather go through what we dealt with the police 1,000 times over. And I need to say this as well, guys. The police in this situation who performed the welfare check, etc. on him, I cannot speak highly enough of their understanding, their empathy, and their professionalism. They went above and beyond. They were so polite, they were so helpful, and they really worked with us to have the best result for this young guy. Our fears are obviously were that he was missing and potentially could have really hurt himself, but it didn't happen, which was great. So he went to this party. Obviously, the negative things happened, and he was considering what he was going to do. And there was a welfare check put forward for him. Welfare check, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but if you are concerned for someone's well-being, believe they're going to be a harm to themselves or someone else, you can call the police station and ask for the police to go and do a welfare check. And the police will go to the house or go to the location that person's at, and they will have a chat with them, do their best to try and see if there's any risk. And if there is risk to that person, the police will generally take that person to a mental health facility or something like that for them to get help. In this situation, the young man contacted me about 4 or 5 hours after the police had contacted us. The police came to my house looking for the young man. And we, worked together to try and track him down. I was called by the young man about 11 o'clock, and we met him down the main strip with the police. And the police were interviewing him, and it got to the situation where the police explained to him that he either goes with them to mental health or he could come in the car with myself. And he got in the car with myself and my partner, and we went to the mental health ward and sat with him, and he had to wait for quite some time before he was seen by a mental health practitioner. And unfortunately, because we live in quite a rural area, the mental health practitioner was in another town. So that's pretty difficult for most people to kind of understand, because many people obviously live in the city. The wide variety of mental health facilities that are available to them, innumerable, or they can call all these people. This young man didn't really have anyone he could call or talk to. So the end result was that he stayed in hospital for, I think it was about 3 or 4 hours, and had to wait for the all clear from this mental health facility in another town. Now, he was all cleared, which is great, and he's going through some recuperation at the moment. He's dealing with the mental health facility locally because it doesn't really have an after hours kind of facility. And, he's doing great things. He knows that if he ever has issues again in the future, he can call me, he can call the other people involved in the situation. And yeah, I just want people to really understand that we don't need to take all this crap. We don't need to acknowledge all the negativity, and we don't need to absorb it into ourselves. If someone's saying something negative about you, don't jump on it. All right? Don't acknowledge when someone has something horrible and says things to harm your mental welfare and your state of mind. You don't need to accept that, because you know yourself. You don't need to sit there and go, oh, this person thinks I'm shit, so obviously I'm shit. Or these people don't like me, so obviously no one likes me. There is always someone out there who respects you. There is always someone out there that loves you, and there is always someone out there that is willing to go to the hospital with you at 11:30, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, whenever. There will always be someone of your friends that are willing to go to hospital, sit by your side, and walk you through this and be there for you. So never feel alone, guys. Never feel like no matter what your situation, the only option is suicide. The only option is self-harm. Because I would much rather know that I am freezing my ass off and bored shitless at the hospital next to a mate who's going through mental struggle than sitting at home playing whatever, playing video games, drinking, hanging out, and realising that my friend had killed himself. So reach out to your friends, guys. Find those who you believe might be struggling. And do you know what? They don't even have to be struggling. Reach out to the people you care about and let them know that you're there for them. But also, I need you to do something else for me as well. Don't allow yourself to take on everyone else's troubles. You don't have to burden your life with everyone's issues. You don't have to compound your stress, your mental welfare for everyone else. So if you feel like you're struggling, reach out to someone. If you feel like you can't take other people's burdens, don't cut them out. Don't tell them, I can't deal with your shit. Try and direct them to something else. Try and work with them. And, you know, if you're both struggling with mental health, maybe you both go there together. Be there for one another. But don't allow yourself to be overburdened with other people's problems. Okay? I'm proud of you all. You're doing great. Keep your chin up, and I got you. All right? Take care, guys.